Welcome to Thursday. Thursday is the day of the week where I share how I did on my intentions, which I set on my Monday video, and tell you what I learned. So let's get right into it because I want to go in and have dinner. Which goes right into it. Eating goals. So my number one intention was to keep my eating goals. I said that I was doing some habits, some old bad habits that I saw that could contribute to me slipping and not meeting my goals. I started setting an alarm after I eat to make sure that there's an alarm sound that happens when I have to start getting ready to eat my next meal. So now I have an alarm. I didn't do it today and I can see the difference. I still haven't missed any goals, but I'm skating on thin ice. I'm not gonna lie. So back to the alarm tomorrow. No more fucking around with this. I am not gonna fucking slip up my eating goals at this point if I can at all help it. So that leads to my next intention, which was body-led working. So that's working in such a way where I check in with my body, where I don't have not unrealistic expectations. I think that my expectations of my body and my work have not been unrealistic, which is why they're so deceptive. It's like, oh yeah, on any normal day, I'll be able to accomplish this. Well, the days aren't normal. We've established this. We're in the middle of COVID pandemic. We've had months and months of brutal police violence against peaceful protesters. Now in Portland, we have federal troops fucking shooting people and breaking people's hands and all manner of bullshit and craziness. So this is not normal. The only way I can find an even keel right now with working and with everything is to check in with my body, because my internal barometer is going to be the only one that makes any real sense right now. So I've been doing that, and in conjunction with having the 1 to 2 goals that I do before any other thing in the day, that has been amazing. Also, I just realized that my shirt matches my wall. I don't know. My cup matches it too. My fucking nails match it. I'm having a situation. But anyway, I just wanted to say that I see what you're seeing. I get it. I know. I don't know. It's weird. The third intention was to focus on things I can change. That's been a weird one because I thought I was going to have to do that, like remind myself all week, be really, really clear about it, like really, really focus on the things I can change. And then I just like focused on them. Like I did not spend very much time dwelling on things I can't change at all. Like that was all last week, was dwelling on shit I can't change. And then this week it's like, shit I can't change? I don't know her. Like, I don't know why. Totally flipped. Which leads me to talking about my realizations, my sort of like learnings for the week. My learnings this week are basically, they're very interesting. So for years, I have been talking about developing more sort of mind-body connection. I've been talking about developing more of a body-led working style, which isn't always what I've called it, but sort of being intuitive in what I want to do, how I want to move my body, how I want to work, how I want to ask someone something, not always doing it by rote or by the book. I've worked and done my job and done the things I do long enough that I know how, sort of like a perfect case study, I know how it's supposed to go. I also know that when I inject my own intuition into what I'm doing, that's when shit really starts to shine. So carrying that over to my life and following my intuition in other ways, it has been very important to me. And I was talking to a friend of mine about it. And while we were talking, I realized that one of the things, in addition to the other stuff I've talked about in previous videos, that brought me so much despair last week was a fundamental disconnect. So all of these years I've been talking about this, working from an internal place, working that is based on my intuition, that is responsive to the local economy, that is not bulldozing people. Because my ideal, what I want to do is I want to work at a company that supports my life as a person. So that's my relationships, my spirituality, my morals, my values, my whatever. And then I want to be able to live a life that supports a community that also supports those things. So I want to see in my community anti-racism. I want to see in my community, understanding and growth. And I want to see equity in my community and all of this stuff. I don't want people in my community to be hungry. I don't want them to be homeless. I don't want them to have to be taking on financial losses for their health. All of those things. I want education to be open to anyone who wants it. Childcare and all that stuff. This is the community I want in my world, right? And so then I need to have a working place. I need to have a company that supports that too. All of these things work together. It's not just an economy, it's an ecology. So just like an ecology, we have all the different elements that do different things, but they serve each other in these really complex, tangled, amazing ways. So I was talking about the ecology, the business ecology. And I was thinking about this, and all of a sudden my brain sort of gave me this picture in my mind. I was thinking about the ecology, and I was thinking about the forest, and I was picturing the forest. And then I pictured this giant old dead tree. And in my sort of mind's eye, the tree was covered in moss and mushrooms. Where it sat on the ground, it was damp. And so the sort of tree bits were rotting into the soil and giving that nutrients back into the soil. And there was a little mouse family living in it. And there was it was a place for new life to begin. This old dead tree. And I thought about that, and I realized that the thing I was missing in the ecology of my vision, so my vision for business ecology, the thing I was missing was death. And I told my friend, I said, in a business ecology, I even wrote it down. I said, in a business ecology, even death has a benefit. I'm looking at my notebook right now. And then and she was like, oh my God. And I was like, right? And I was like, there is no way to backslide. When one thinks about business loss, or one thinks about a backslide, that's a very capitalist, colonizer way to see business. If I am thinking about this business ecology, this interlocking life that has business in it, but also has room for me to be a person, all the different ways that I'm a person, and room for me to be a family member, and room for me to be a community member, and a member of the larger actual ecology, the natural, the watershed, all this shit, right? If we're putting this in this framework, death is not a backslide. A business closing, something changing drastically, it is not the end. It is additive. It is transformative. Growth then becomes relentless in a way that we don't usually use the word relentless, right? It's more inevitable than relentless, but it's also relentless in that if you have a bad day, you grow from it. If you have a good day, you grow from it. All of these things, the gains and the losses and the wins and the fails and every single other thing, looking back at my career, 20 years, all of this has been additive. It's not like when I close a company, I forget everything I learned there. And that felt revelatory. It felt like a huge relief. It felt like it wasn't me trying to drag this bottom line up these rungs. It was me breathing and growing and contributing to this thing, whether I succeed or not. And that was extremely healing. That was extremely healing. I'm still sort of thinking about it. When I daydream, I'm just daydreaming about business ecologies, and it just makes me so happy.